Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Day Our Survival. I'm a little late to the game. I'm posting videos on this, but I've been playing it for about, I want to say, 6 months maybe. This is going to be my overview of the game. A little part tutorial, how to, what not to do, tips and tricks, synopsis, and the pros and cons. So without any further ado, let's try to survive in Mother Russia, shall we? Okay, currently I'm at my first base, my forward base. Give you a little brief view of the map. My forward base is out here. I got two set up, and the reason being is the distance. It's crazy just to have one base and having to do this whole area, scavenging, searching, hunting, etc., and have to drive all the way back. So the reason why I put this one here is it's the middle point between Moscow and Kazan. So I have a depot in Kazan at the moment where I have a stockpile of diesel and gasoline. And as you can see, my markers, I have places marked gasoline tanks, certain locations for depots. The reason why I do that is gasoline, it's hard to come by. The diesel's even harder to come by. So another safe house out here marked in green. Another safe house here marked in white. I pretty much did the circle. I went up to Tver, into Minsk, into Kiev, down to Rostov-on-Don, and then did the whole circle loop back into Kazan. Pretty much scavenged this whole area. I have 2, 4, 6 bases I need to scavenge from. Their gasoline, their weaponry, their food, their meds. So pretty much this whole area is done. This is all I have left for that. So this causeway, this road that I have stuck with pretty much goes from Kiev all the way down into Kazan, through Ufa, through Tumen, on down into Omsk, Novosibirsk, and then finally the last destination, the forward base. You have 2 cities out here. This one will get you into the last of the gameplay where you find your daughter. I'm not going to spoil it, but in a nutshell, the story gets weird when you do. I've already found and located the tank. I just did all my part run yesterday, so everything's sitting there with the tank. The only thing I'm missing at the moment is 8,000 steel. That's the only thing I need to work on. And right below it at the airport, just above Tula, you will find the helicopter, the down helicopter. Those parts are up in this region right here. As you can see, none of this is done yet. And the same can be said for this whole coastal region up here and this whole mountainous region. I have yet to do. The same for down into here. But as you can see, this is the edge of the map down here. And that's the wall of the map. So I've already done the scuba quest line. Got the scuba tank, all that stuff. Give you a little brief idea of what we have. Go to location. Yeah, Geiger counter, all the parts. Where is it? Oh yeah, my shitten or chitin, however you want to say that. Armor, full set. You get that out of UFA. Always go in there with some poison meds because those bees will kill you. It's the best place to farm for honey as well, since it's not found too often throughout the land. Now, as far as hoarding weapons, I have so far scavenged 298, counting the one I have, AKs. I've only put together maybe 20 of these, and that was for a mission. But as you can see, as far as the parts go, what drops, what doesn't, the AKs drop like candy. You're not going to find a lot of RPK parts. You're not going to find a lot of PMK parts. And the RPGs are variable. You'll find more of the homemade rocket launchers than anything. I can't overstate how beneficial it is to scavenge with a generator and a welder, as well as an extra chainsaw. So you're packing 2 chainsaws, one for a possible boat if need be, the other one for wood, naturally. I always carry a tent, and I always carry a fishing pole. Flashlight of choice is this one because it gives you 200% bonus to find. So looking for stuff is really quick. And can't overstate carrying chemistry sets. That way you don't have to go back to home base to make your acid or your sulfuric acid, your saltpeter, your black powder, etc. I found the KMAZ. I have fixed it up. It's fully functional and working right now. I've built several ZIL 130s. I got them stationed all over the place. Same thing for the UAZ 452. And this is your scavenger vehicle. This is what you want to use. You don't want to use the truck, even though it has more cargo space. The gasoline mileage sucks. It is made for one-way trip or round-trip moving scenarios only. It's not meant to be, unless you have the money and you want to spend all that gasoline. But that's another story. Now, the cheapest way to get around gasoline vehicle wise is the car, hands down. The blue ZAZ 968. It only uses 5 liters for 100 kilometers versus the UAZ 542, which is 10 liters 100 kilometers. So that's almost double. The one thing I've noticed is a lot of people try to get around on the bikes, which is not good. The first laceration to your leg, and there you are standing, leaving your bike and everything. If you're in a car, you don't have to worry about leg lacerations. It's you can go now after the fight. No sitting for 6 days, etc. But with saying that, always carry your sulfonatide and what is it? Protozepan, and definitely, if you have them, the hemostatic sponge. They're quick clotters that will keep you alive. Always carry wine because that's the best thing for radiation. A couple sips will take it away, but use it sparingly. If you have a high concentration of radiation, you need to put on a chemical suit if you're in that region, and definitely use a chemical mask. And always make sure that your filters are full. See, I'm at 100% right now. Most of these last 7 days. Some of them are 14, like this one, the high-end one. This one has the highest percentage against radiation, which is 50%. The normal gear I run around and scavenge in is the iron set. It's cheap, it's easy. I don't have to worry about breaking the bank on my outfit. And you can find military helmets all over the place. If I'm going to do a place that has more than 10 in the camp, I will swap out the iron helmet for the military helmet. And the reason why is the stealth bonus as well as the bullet wound negation of 15%, where the helmet is 3% and no stealth. So keep that in mind. If you want real good stealth, you definitely go with the wood sprite camouflage coat known as the Ghillie Suit. It's great for stealth. It's 50%. It has the best in the game. You can't get any better than that. Unless you throw on the army boots, the army glove, and I think that's it, because the Ghillie Suit is pretty much head to toe. Now, another thing, always carry 3 forms of fire. Your Primus stove, if you found one, or you make the survival Primus stove, which is made out of tin cans, etc. Now, if you happen to find one, like I have, many times now at the hunters' lodges, and that's where you score these things. Same way with the tents, if you don't make one yet. The high-end sturdy fishing pole, the high-end flashlight, you will find those at the hunting lodges. But like I said, always carry 3 forms of fire. Primus stove, always have it topped off with fuel. So I got 2 of those, plus a Zippo, and 15 books of matches. And on top of that, I carry a small wood bundle. And the reason why is if you get a broken leg, you're needing a splint. And the same thing goes for the arms. You'll need splints. And the same thing goes for you will need tape. So as far as the medical goes, the 3 crafting items you need: wood, soap, tape. Can't get any more specific than that. And if you haven't found the wolf yet, I'm going to be doing a video about this because many people still haven't found it, I guess. But it is very beneficial for hunting game or even storming a base. Right now, level 6, the attack is 1500. Some of the guns I have are lower in attack than my wolf. Look at that. The AK is 1200. My dog is 1500 at level 6. Get it to level 7, it'll be doing this damage, which the PMK does at 2500. And at the top damage maker, you got the PMK and the RPG at present for what I have as far as my gear. Now, tools. Always carry a knife, an axe, a shovel, crowbar, hacksaw, needle, tool set. And as far as what tools are classified, the pot and pan is a tool. You'll need it for making glue, tanning solutions, acids, anything chemistry, cooking, you name it. It's probably one of the most used items in the game are the cooking pots next to the tools themselves. Now, I'm not trying to promote this, and I'm not trying to say anything good about cigarettes, but anyways, the cigarettes are beneficial to get rid of exhaustion, but it will give you a little bit of poison, and I'll show you now by using one. Gets rid of exhaustion, but gives you poison. Now, it'll take about 5 to 30 minutes for that 3 to go away, or I could just take a poison pill, which is a charcoal pill, and now it's gone. So there are benefits to the cigarettes and counter agents for the cigarette. So I always recommend having the cigarettes in conjunction with the tea and the coffee. And the reason why is they all 3 negate your fatigue. The other thing that negates your fatigue is the casitoin, the tidocycline, and where is it? The Biocarm. So these three right here kill exhaustion next to the coffee, the tea. Alright, what else? The basis of my gear pretty much is what you're seeing. The watch, the clock, binoculars, my 2 bonus items, which is the bomb statue, the icebreaker figurine. What else? Oh, in conjunction with the flashlight. It gives me a bonus, enhanced bonus to find items, etc. That's why I carry these 2. Now, the benefits of a backpack: more item count. The downfalls of a backpack: if you wind up getting injured to where you can't use your backpack, all that extra weight is added to your main total, which is not good. So, in saying that, always try to stay within your means of your scavenge run. If you're going to do a scavenge run, never use a car. Always use the bus. The reason why is, like I said, 100 kilometers, 10 liters. Not to mention, it holds 3 tons. So if you're needing brick, fire brick, normal brick, etc., this is the vehicle you want. Bicycles, they're only beneficial for saving and conserving fuel. The downside of them: laceration to the leg, your vehicle is rendered useless. And that goes for the bicycle with the cart, motorized cart, and as well the motorcycle. So, in saying that, these have their purpose in the lower starting point of the game. Once you get out of that motorcycle and get into the ZAZ 968, you should never go back to these unless you dire straight have to. Just to keep it simple. Now, these 2, the ZIL 130 and the KMAZ, they should only be used for one-way trips. The reason why is this KMAZ, 100 kilometers, is 22.5 liters. And it uses diesel, which is the hardest fuel to find in the game. There's not much of it. And once you find it and use it, it doesn't come back to those fuel depots. So it's a matter of management, one-way trip use of a said vehicle for final movement of whatever product you're moving. In my case, from this location, I have to move 8,000 steel, which I am in the process. Let me show you. In the process of setting up my steel furnace. I have my workbench, my chem lab, sewing machine, forge chimney, wooden house, 2 cellars. The benefits of that: I can hold more stuff, everything lasts longer, etc. Water purifier, drying racks, greenhouse. And then naturally my charcoal piles along in conjunction with the fire, which will last for another 23 hours. Let's kindle this. Alright, 1 day. And as you can see, I get a rest bonus of 50% here, which is really awesome. Now, let's talk about food and drinkables for a second. I have hoarded Pepsi, and that's what this is, in this game ever since I found them. I have found 66 so far in the places I have searched. And to give you a broad perspective, I have done this whole area: Petrovsk, Leningrad, Minsk, Kiev. I have searched everything under the sun in that area. It's finally done. I get to move on to this next part where I get to clear this area out and this lower half out. And I'm doing the same thing down this highway, this Route 66 in Mother Russia, as I call it. And I've been sticking to that path, going north and south of it, because this is where all the bases are. This is the main highway. In saying that, I hope to have some video footage of me clearing out this whole area soon, because I want to wrap up the parts to the helicopter, because the parts for the tank are wrapped up. And where I found the tank parts, right here. Where I found the giant truck that carries 40 tons, right here. Both had to be fixed and moved. But keep in mind, moving the tank parts from here to Moscow was 390K diesel every, what was it? Yeah, 390K from there to there, and then another, it was almost 870K diesel that I needed from Nova to Moscow. And therein lies my con. Diesel is hard to come by. It is a ration on top of a ration, for lack of better words. But then again, you know, people say, hey, there's the store. You can go to the popular tab and get 250K for 500 caps. I get that. But when caps are used for so many other things other than just the fuel, caps are at a premium too. I mean, all the bases I farm and destroy, I get caps. So each time I destroy a base, I get about 60 caps. So if I do, say, 8 caps, I'll have a said caps. My issue is I'm running out of bases to find. As you can see, all the ones marked in yellow means I have not done anything to them yet. The ones marked in red with the crossbone over them, those were the main bases. They have all been dealt with, sorted, all the parts taken. Like I said, the truck and the tank parts were here at these two bases. The large truck, tank parts, truck. No, wait a second. The truck was here, tank was here, parts for truck was there. All right. But in saying that, all these red skulls are things that I've taken the gas and their manufacturing goods from, but I didn't take anything else. The ones that are marked in yellow means I have yet to do anything with those bases. The ones that are marked in a bullet, if the bullet is red, that means it is the highest level base possible. If the bullet is in gold or yellow, it is my level. So right now I've only found this one up in this region next to this safe house, and that's the reason why I put it there. And I think I'm going to do the northern region before I do the southern region, just because of this. I want to find out what I get out of here. I know it's leading me up here into more parts. And I have yet to find the electric car. I have the electric motor. I have the engineer, all that stuff. Before the premium was added and the new updates, which was a few months now, I found the car. I even marked it and labeled it where it was and how to get it. It was over in here at this base, just north of the scuba situation. Actually, the scuba situation is up here. Yeah, correct. Sorry, it's been so long. Scuba was up here in Belomorsk. That's where it was. The other situation down here is different, unrelated. But down here is where I found that small unmarked base. And there's another one. Where is it? It's on one of these river coastlines. I want to say... Hold on, where is it? Got to be near Tula. Over here, somewhere in this region, there is a marker, a land marker, radioactive marker. And it's a named place. Every time I go there, nothing happens. So I'm thinking I either don't have the mission, is my guess. And let me see, quests, so I can show you everything I've done. I've done the bear quest, the bed bugs, the blacksmithing, books, child, shit and armor, the clock, draw sheets, fertilizer, gas power generator, guide, kittens, let's go, mini hydro plant, monster, moss, oakum, photo album, protection, pump, quarantine, radio, romance, sabotage, science, security alarm, soap, survival of the fittest, toys, translation from German, transport, veterinarian, vodka, and wolf cubs. Wolf cub is how you get your wolf. And as you can see, this is the first mission, second, third, fourth, fifth. Goes all the way up to where I am now. And at the moment, only thing I have found is moving town, which... this is going to be crazy to do, because every time I look at this, I already know what it's going to entail, and that's a one-way trip with my 40-ton hauler. And what you get out of this is you wind up getting his nuclear-powered Bel-Az, which is a giant, monstrous earth dump truck. But right now, I don't have the nuclear reactor. I know where they are. Haven't done that area yet. I have the clean water. There's no way I'm going to be able to get 100,000 steel. That's going to take me forever. Not to mention the amount of scrap I need for that vehicle. The amount of lead. Nails won't be an issue. Wire won't be an issue. Tape won't be an issue. Pipe, car batteries. Well, 50 car batteries, that is an excess. That's a lot. So, in saying that's down the road. That's probably the last thing I'll do in this game. Searching for the truth is still that same mission. This is the Tver settlement, which I have to go back to when I head back to Moscow. Way back home. This is the lead up to finding your daughter. And I'm not going to get into any of the mission stuff until I get my, for lack of better words, my stockpile sorted. So, speaking of stockpile, let's talk food for a minute. You are going to find canned goods throughout Russia. Condensed milk, canned porridge, canned beef, canned pork. Here's the thing. You should never eat these. These are just as bad as the diesel fuel, meaning that as soon as you find them, that's it. Wherein the jarred goods, the pickles, the tomatoes, the cabbage, the stewed meat, I can make. And all that does is require me to hunt or fish or grow. The first three are grow, last one's hunt and fish. So stewed meat of any kind. I recommend doing sewing and cooking before you do anything else in the game, even before survival. It'll make your gameplay experience a lot better and a lot easier. Being hungry and thirsty is just a pain in the butt, let me tell you. And it happens a lot. And you don't want to be drinking dirty water, because that's how you get sick. You want to make sure you get clean water. And how to do that is you take the dirty water and you boil it. Once again, back to the pots and pans being one of the main tools in the game. Can't overstate how stockpiling is beneficial and how you should eat only the things you hunt, fish, and craft. The reason being is when you finally look at something, this is 6 months later of stockpiling. I have only found 225 pork, 307 canned beef, 245 porridge, 141 condensed milk. And I'm going to say, in all honesty, I've eaten some of these over the months, so I'm going to give or take 100. So 100, 150 is what I have also found added to these numbers. But short story short, buckwheat grains never touched, never touched, never touched. The rice, the wheat, the corn. And this is all I found so far. And 525 pasta. But I'm finding salt like you wouldn't believe. I got 53,000 salt right now, but only 8K in sugar. 107 honey because I farmed UFA for it, and it was worth every second I spent in there. But I went through a lot of these. Prococozole. The detoxification and the poisoning health benefit of this stuff is a dire need in that range, in that zone. What else? Gone through some of the kit and tools, weapons, clothing, gear, gas masks. Oh yeah, always save your drop brass. Can't overstate that enough. What else? Yeah, there's my motor. 10 electric motors and 1 gas-powered generator. Oh, 11. Why is that one separate? Pick up. Huh, it's separate. So that's part of a mission. Yeah, that's the one. Classic car into electric car. So I have the motor. I just haven't found the red electric car yet. I'm still on the search. I think I know where it's at, but I have to go there and figure if it's there or not. Unlike some people, I don't go and look for walkthroughs, guides, tutorials, stuff like that. It just takes the fun out of the mission itself. It's always unique to find it on your own. And saying that, let's see. We're over here by UFA. I gotta come up with, let's see, how much do I have here? 5436 plus what's on me, so that gives me 7788. It'll give me enough to head back in that general direction, and where I'm headed is back towards this region. I need to get these depots restocked and then come back into here and figure out what that base is, what it has, and same for this one. But I'm not headed back to this region yet because I don't want to do that mission because I know it will lead me up into this city, etc., etc., etc. So that's the end game right there. That's the end game. I still want to come down in here and search out this region. I still have the scuba tank, so I have some ideas with it. I'm just gonna see if it works. If not, oh well. I know it was only had a 3% on it, but right now my tanks are missing somewhere. I'm starting to think they're in my forward base, but that will require me, let's see, 100K, 200K, 300K gasoline to get to there, which is nuts. But I'm pretty sure it's sitting here, my scuba tank. So, let's do a brief overview of the icons. Okay, I'm at my base, going into the town, survivor base. Locals have worked hard since the war. They set up a kindergarten, a school, a serious infirmary, several warehouses, and even a small theater. Skilled management has helped them to establish trade with neighboring settlements, and so the people here look to the future with cautious optimism. And I've already done all the missions here. The teacher. She just tells you why and how she ended up in the situation she's in, which is really crazy when you read some of the backstories of how Russia became the target of a nuclear war. It's pretty messed up. Okay, a brief overview and tutorial on how to use markers so you don't get lost in Mother Russia. As you can see, a lot of these buildings are grayed out. That means I have already scavenged through them. So I'm going to find one that's a viable building I need to look at that I haven't scavenged through yet. And lo and behold, here it is. Military base. Deal with crazy attacker. Ran him off. Take a little band-aid, eat some food, drink a bottle of wine. Okay, say you want to mark something, yet you don't want to go into that region because there's a possibility that you will be attacked. Best way to use the icon function is point to your location, go to icon function, throw a skull on top, and there you go. Now you marked the point without even going into the region. And say this building has gasoline, which it always does. You always find gasoline in this section of the empty military bases. This section will always be crafting goods. So as you see, I marked that one. And this section is always the infirmary. So what I use for the infirmary symbol is a red house. A little hospital icon. And right here is the weapon room in the military. It's always the weapon room. You always find your ammo here. So as you see, marked with an ammo. This room is always food. So, move my icon. There we go. Food icon. There you go. This is always the barracks. So, to signify people, another skull and red. Out here in the parking lot, you will always find, right here at the gate, you'll always find gasoline as well. You never find diesel. It's only unleaded gas. And last room, but not least, the command center, which is always pretty much you have your roll of the mill, either vodka or wine or tea out of this building. Everything else will be either 2 to 4 officers. Sometimes they have ammo on them, sometimes they don't. But there's your brief overview on how to use the marking system without going into a location and taking the chance of being attacked. Also, I've given you the map layout of all military bases. It's always like this. Gas, crafting items, human stuff, whether it be clothing, ammo, food, ammo room, food, and sometimes ammo, food room, pills, medical, more officers out here in the open courtyard. So, in saying that, let's remove all these, and I'll show you how to remove them. You can do it one at a time. And since I've already done this building, except for one room, okay, that's all square. Let's go do that one room. Oh, lo and behold, we have an ad to watch. So, as you can see, 4 men in here. Search corpse. Most of the time, you're going to get some clothing, smokes, and a lot of rags. I want to say every once in a blue moon you will get some ammo, but that's once in a blue moon. So we're not going to watch this because can't do ads. So let's see what else. That's about it in here. I've scavenged the hell out of that place, let me tell you. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up right here. We'll do part 2 coming up soon. Got a lot of stuff to do up here in the north. Still got to send some steel back to Moscow for the tank. Got to find some more diesel. I got a large stockpile sitting in Moscow, but that ain't going to move my tank clear to home base. And this is home base, and forward base is right here. So this is all the things that I need at the forward op position for this chain line. And I've already marked out everything where all the gas is in this place. Didn't find but 2 diesel this whole road. And I'm hoping down in here, somewhere in here, I'm going to find some diesel. But we'll only know when we get there, right? So, till next time, Nastrovia, comrades. Come back to Mother Russia, Day Our Survival, where we will get crazy stupid. Anyways, till next time, see you part 2.